had some things in there, just wanted to make sure y'all know. Marine Max, I had said it back in June, but I'm just wanting to confirm because we would like to announce the save the date for the boat parade. So we're looking at Friday, December 8th, which is basically the same Friday that would have been last year. So it's the second Friday in December, which worked really well for us last year. So we're hoping that it stays that way this year. So if nobody has any reason why we can't do that, we'd like to go ahead and start announcing that. Please take a look at the schedule for September, especially the budget hearings. We will have 4 members of the commission for those, and I need 4 members, at least 4 for those, so I can't spare any more of you. So if you have not already told me that you're missing a meeting, you are not allowed, basically. So please do not miss meetings in September, the budget hearing specifically. We got a request, we get it every year, from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They give out grant funds, and in order to disperse of those funds, they have to get a certain percentage of approval of the agencies that they represent. So we're one of them. Did you see the sample letter that they sent that's like, this is all the money we want to give to these agencies? So they asked for that letter in support, so I'm asking you all if you would approve us having that sent. If so, I'm going to have Mayor Penny sign it before we go. So that's...
That sounds good, right? Everybody's
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right. We got our health insurance renewal rate. It was higher than we expected, higher than we budgeted. Staff would like to stay with the same plan. It's a very good plan. It gives really great coverage, so it's been a good benefit for our staff. We've had reasonable, if not lower than expected, increases the last several years for them. So this one was higher than we were hoping for, but this is kind of where we're at. My understanding is that it's relatively in line with what rate increases were kind of everywhere. So we would like commission approval to renew with our existing health insurance. Yes. Yeah. That's
All
okay.
good. Fine.
Okay. And then, if you saw, staff met with representatives from Local 747. They had a specific request of us. They noticed in their contract with us for parental leave, they're granted 3 weeks of leave just like general employees are, but they have a different policy in their contract that it must be used immediately following the birth or adoption of a child, whereas the policies that we have for general employees is you can start it anywhere from 2 weeks prior or up to 8 weeks following. And some employees, not just with us, I think it's a somewhat of a standard thing with 2-parent homes, is they try to they go from one to the other to try to extend out the length of time that a child is with a parent. So for example, they'd stay with the mother for whatever her leave is, and then the father would take his leave. Or so we've had a request that their parental leave be amended to basically that policy match what general employees are offered. So just the time frame when they can take it. Staff does not have any objections to that. It just makes it more flexible as to when they can start it, rather than your baby's born today, it starts today.
Yeah.
You could start it, there's a window of time that you could use it, rather than like requiring that they can start it.
Yeah.
So if you all are okay with that, it would require an MOU, which I can have done this week. And if you're okay with that, we can add it to next Tuesday night's agenda just to get that done.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll also see another MOU, but it probably won't go on until September, to address the additional COLA percentage that you all approved for them back in June. So we'll be doing an MOU for that, but I probably won't have it for you till September.
Great.
And then I have 2 quick updates that were not on there. We had previously talked about doing a joint event with the Rays and the Sunrunner. In terms of scheduling and wanting to do this on a Saturday day game at home and being limited a little bit by us not being able to do that for when certain teams are here. They weren't looking to do that when like the Yankees were here and whatnot. It made scheduling it for this season pretty difficult. So we've talked with them and kind of came to the conclusion that we're gonna try for next season because we couldn't make it work for this season. It was too far in to their season for us to do it. So we still want to do it, and I've talked with them. We've got some meetings scheduled, and we're going to be touching base with them in the fall, and then in like January, February to get something set up for next season. So that's more just an update for you all in case you were wondering what happened with that. We're going to have to push it to next season. And then last thing, the Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber has asked for permission to use Hibiscus Hall for some planning meetings for their Taste of the Beaches events. They did one during the commission break. We spoke with Mayor Penny and he authorized that. They've asked that they could use that sort of going forward when they have some meetings. So I kind of wanted to just see if you all would give us the ability to just give them blanket approval, as long as it doesn't conflict with what we need, since we are a member agency and we let the Suncoast League and there's some other groups that we allow use. So instead of us having to bug you guys every time for approval, can we just tell them they can use it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's it for me. So unless you all have.
Okay, so you guys are wanting to transition newsletter to online only, right?
So yes, not for a while, but I kind of wanted to at least throw that out there. I've surveyed surrounding cities, and most of them either do no newsletter or they do just an e-newsletter. I think people are trying to get away from using so much paper, and honestly, for what we do, the difficulty is if I put something out now, and because we do it quarterly, that information is not current very quickly after that. So we would rather be referring people back to the website or the Facebook page or things that are updated more recently that would have more current information. And plus, when we do our newsletter, there's a lot of times where we have something that won't be ready until 2 weeks after the newsletter's out. But so do we hold the newsletter back? Do we try to rush something? Then by the time the next newsletter comes out, that's dated information. It's harder for us to time it. And honestly, the cost of doing it is pretty significant because we print between 400 and 500 copies. And we actually had some copier issues for this last one, and so we priced out having it printed other places, and it is a fortune to do it. It's just a lot. And so there are a couple of cities that do an email newsletter, and it would allow us to link blurbs that we're already doing in other places. Because right now, when let's say we have something going on like the dolphin, we post it on the website, which is one format. We post it on Facebook, which is another format. We do an email blast, which is its own format. We do the PowerPoint that goes on TV screen, which is its own format. And then the print newsletter is its own. So we have to customize everything to every medium that we're putting it out. And to be honest, we're just drowning when this happens. So it's just, we have to rewrite a lot. We have to reformat it a lot. We have to change. We want to add more things.
We just couldn't link to get an update on that item.
So yeah, so the email itself it wouldn't just be a hey, click here for everything. It would have actual like list of so you can go through and just click on the stuff you're interested in, and it would link to the website or the Facebook page, or if we want them to go to the county for hurricane stuff, we can go hey, it's hurricane season, click. So it's all there, and it takes them to current stuff. So for example, if you get that newsletter and 3 weeks later you go, where was that? And you click on it, if any updated information has been posted to that part of the website, they're getting that new information then, rather than they're getting what was current at the time it was printed. So
much better.
So the online newsletter would it be a PDF still? Or
no.
It would not be anymore.
It wouldn't be a
where
PDF.
you can just
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah.
So it's not printable for somebody that wanted to print it out at home for a reason?
They'd have to print the sections that they wanted.
I got you.
You couldn't, if you printed the whole thing, it would be all of the, like, basically headline blurbs. So like a graphic with like a couple of sentences of, hey, it's hurricane season, the new guides are available, click here for that. And then the next one, hey, the winning dolphin design was chosen, here it is, for more information, click here. You know, it would be kind of like that, because we wanting to invest more time in things like, you know, the Facebook, YouTube, the website redesign, that kind of stuff. The paper newsletter is just going kind of by the wayside at this point.
What's the timeline you got on something like that?
So I was wanting to launch that, if you all are okay with it, launch that change when we launch the redesigned website, which will probably not be for 4 to 6 months. So this is just kind of a like, hey, we'd like to talk about this a little bit, because we think that when we relaunch the website, that would be a good time to be like, hey, use this for your information.
We're looking at a couple more issues of the current printing.
Yeah.
So then we should also put
Yeah.
in there every future issue. We are going to be transitioning to digital
On
only.
the front page,
That's,
You know, so they have
that's,
to continue
You
to
know-
get your information, go to this website,
Yes.
sign up or whatever.
Yep.
and-
You know, I'm getting since we advertised in Gabber, I get their email every time the Gabber comes out.
Yeah.
I get it
Yeah,
on email.
Me too.
And don't need the paper copy.
so if you've seen actually when they send their email, you know how they have sort of blurbs of some of the stuff in
Yeah.
it?
Right.
It would be similar to that. So it's not an
Yeah.
actual like formatted section. It's kind of a list of like
Right.
headlines
Right,
for
kinda like-
us, and then you choose what you click on to go
Yeah.
look at. If that makes sense. So just something that we are trying to find the best.
A lot of the organizations are doing that now, for League of Cities, the state.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of things
Yeah.
I'm getting, I'll have these little blurbs and you just click to read the rest of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
And again, that to us, it gets people the most current information, because I can update, if I put something out today, I can update the website tomorrow,
yeah,
and you can click that same link that I emailed you yesterday, and it's going to take you to the current information.
Information.
Like, it's going to get people the most current information more frequently. So it's just that we're just sort of looking at concept and been talking to other cities and trying to figure out sort of the best way. If we were to do this, what would be the best way to do it? So this was more of a like, if we could potentially think about that or have a discussion about it, and not wanting to do it any sooner than the website's redone, but thought that might be a good pairing if you all are. So think about it. If you have questions or suggestions, let me know. Or if you say nope, we just want to stay with paper, then we can stay with paper.
No,
and-
don't want to
But
stay with
it's,
paper.
it's.
But I like what your suggestion is. Put a big note on the
Next several
headline,
issues.
let them know that it's coming,
Yeah,
that
we're
it's
going
gonna
to
be
transition to
online.
digital only.
You could have the whole thing put into a file as a PDF that gets updated once a month, and you can say, if you want to print out the whole thing, they can print it out themselves.
Well,
That's what the Gabber does. You can actually download the PDF of the actual paper,
Yeah.
or you can do, like you described, go through and
I
click
can
it.
see if we can do that. We would be trying to link to pages on the website though. So rather than theirs is actually done as a, like
You can
in a publisher
searchable and everything.
type of
Yeah,
type of
really
file.
good.
So,
Yeah, well, I mean, Ben, you know that, the age, some of the people in the condos, that some of them just refuse to use the internet to read things. They want a piece of paper to look at. But is it enough to hold back progress and to keep printing out
No.
pages? I don't think it is. But if
Well,
we start putting a big blurb in the very next one in the front, letting people know we're transitioning away from this, we'll hear from the people, or Carly will. And she can report to us, let us know that it wasn't that big of a thing, or all these people
Well,
are
I mean,
flooding
as
me
it
with-
is right now, only the condos get the copies, none of the
Yeah.
private homes get them,
No,
so.
And I know the stack that goes in
But
my
we do-
condo
we
lobby
do-
stays
we do
the
send
same
out an
size
email where they
until
can print-
replace
they
it
can
with
print
the
it
next
out.
issue. Nobody
Yeah.
takes it.
right now it's a
Oh.
PDF.
yeah, you could open it as PDF.
Right now you can open it, when we email it to those people that live in our city that don't get a copy, they can print out a full copy if they wanted to, because they get a PDF.
Yeah.
That link that you get from the city hall. So, yeah, we'll see. See how it
This
goes.
was again just to sort of like
Yeah.
start kind of and almost find out, okay, if you had concerns, what are they, to try and find ways that we could address them potentially, or if we're just leaving it the way it is, we're just leaving it the way it is. But
Let's just
it
move
just
forward with
needs
it
to get
and
rid of the
see
paper.
what kind of feedback we get, and we go from there.
okay,
I see we got the YouTube channel set up as well.
Yeah, it is up. We're just finishing working out some kinks to make sure that it's in line with the social media policy that we had discussed before we put out the Facebook page. So we're setting some stipulations of that. For example, comments are turned off.
Right.
Just because that's a public records thing only. So, and there's contact information for how to reach the city. If you have something to say or questions or whatever, our email address and all that will be on there. The comments are only off because of public record requirements for us. So some policies like that, and we're just kind of tweaking to make sure, but it's up now. We just haven't launched the link publicly. So
Going through the YouTube format, does it provide closed captioning and
It
things
does
like
not.
that? It does not, okay.
If we search for it right now, can we find it?
yes.
Yeah, you can go to that link on the
Yeah.
report.
So we started with the meetings in June going forward. And so we'll probably be putting that in the upcoming newsletter, linking it on the website and whatnot. We just wanted you guys to be able to poke around at it a little bit. We're still learning some of it a little bit, so we don't want it completely out in the world yet, but technically it does exist.
there
If you go find it, it does exist.
Right, and the audio video vendor for commission chambers, that's to get it set up where we can do like Zoom or things like that people can.
Yep, we're gonna try to get a little bit better quality. There's some of the quality of our feed that we can't change because it is from the Spectrum box and wiring. So we could have the best of the best equipment in here. It's gonna look the way it looks
It is what it is.
going out because it's the box that they gave us. So yeah, just to kind of update some things and to try to increase our ability to do remote attendance and whatnot. Because right now we're concerned about it that it's so finicky that legally we're not comfortable doing anything on it, because if something were to go out in the middle of one of these upcoming hearings, it could create a pretty big legal issue for us. So it's just not dependable enough with what we have.
Okay, sounds good. Anybody else, any questions, Carly? Probably got anything more for us, top of yours?
So, no, I
Okay. And I guess we're gonna move on to the next item, which would be the budget, because we already did the ALS.
Basically, I gave everybody a new itemized budget. I'm not gonna go through that in any kind of detail. If you wanna look at it, before the meeting, so you'll know.
All the updates are in, the new insurance increase and all that stuff, and
Yeah, and I gave you a summary of the general fund there also, just I see. Basically, the budget, there are basically three changes that were made. In the general fund, we had our insurance quotes come in. The health insurance, I budgeted at about 8.5%. It came in at 15%. So I had to go through and reallocate the insurance. All in all, it's about a $38,560 increase on the health insurance. The second, on general insurance, the PRM actually came in a little bit lower than what I budgeted. I had budgeted about 23%. It came in about 17%. Dollar-wise, it's only about a $16,000 decrease. So we had a 38.5 increase and a 16 decrease, and it basically goes through all the different departments. So the totals have changed. The summary sheet here will show you for the general fund what we budgeted for each department. So it'll give you an idea for that. The third item of change was the sewer fund. When we finished up our budget workshops, we did not know what the sewer fund, what the processing fees were gonna increase to. That came in, they're increasing sewer processing fees about 5%. And I think y'all left me the directive to zero out the appropriated fund balance on the sewer fund, so I did do that. And when I did that, I'm coming up with a 16.6% sewer fee increase. And, you know, if you go back to your,
That's gonna level out over the next year or so, it's increased, but then we'll be caught up, we're at a zero,
Right,
and
we'll
then
be-
we'll just constantly keep up with the increase.
right, but on page 16, you see the new sewer fund budget, and basically, I got as close to zero as I could. I was trying not to, it actually came to a 16.64, increase to zero, but, so I just rounded it to, the 16.6 rather, 16.6%. Left about $700 in the, unappropriated, fund balance, so, and revenues went up from about $1,507,000 is where I think I'm gonna be, if I don't change it, the revenues will go up to $1,757,000, basically. On a, I can hand these out. Basically, yesterday I looked at the new rate at the 16.6, and we're still below, you know, Pinellas County, we're still below Gulfport, we're still below Treasure Island, so I don't see any issues with it. Okay. Gerald tried to go out and, if you could pass it to Carly. He was unable to get St. Pete Beach's numbers for us, but everybody else were,
They were higher than us in 2021, so they gotta be higher than us now, that's for sure.
so I feel pretty good about that. What it does is, there's a base rate for residential customers. Right now, it's $6.25. That'll bring it up to $7.29. It's fixed. Everybody pays that. But then in addition to it, we pay currently $7.60 per 1,000 gallons, and that would go up to $8.86 per 1,000 gallons. And that's what you're seeing on this. There's like three different scenarios: 2,500 gallons, 4,300, and 6,500 gallons. So you can see the variable, you know, changes based on gallons used. Basically, if we're okay with that, I will draw up an ordinance for that 16.6%. We had also reclaimed 11%, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That's,
We're gonna add that to next week's agenda?
I don't think it'll make it that fast.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it'll probably be on the next one. We have to contact City of St. Pete because we have to advertise those. And they're gonna tell me when their availability is, when I can put it on the bill, the next bill. So, this thing will probably not be effective October 1, it'll probably be effective November 1st.
Got it.
But those were the changes. Felt like you probably needed a copy of the budget since you're gonna be approving it very shortly. And I did just get the draft copy. I got that to me yesterday, so that should be posted, I guess.
The budget ordinance?
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll get it this week and then in the updated packets for Tuesday. Yeah.
Any other questions? I mean,
Now, looks like everything we kinda went through. Let's see any, nope, good. Anybody else?
Nope, all good.
All right, Jim, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I just have one thing.
Sure.
When we were at that Walmart grand opening, the Sheriff's Volunteer Patrol was there. They didn't get recognized, that kind of fell through, but I went over and talked to them, and I just told them I would mention that they're recruiting for the Sheriff's Volunteer Patrol, and I'll leave a couple of these brochures. That would be a good thing for Sean. As he, no. But the people were very nice, and they said that they do a lot of events and things like that. So people that are looking for something extra, and sure, for Rita.
Yep.
Okay,
Put it in my building.
okay, that's it for me.
All right. Okay, well then we are going to adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
You need a ride today?